was having a bad day. I work from home. I draw architecture stuff at home. And my son, I spilled some lemonade on my architecture drawings I had to have in for my boss. My son says, "Daddy, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade." And I said, "I did. That's the problem. I spilled it all over the charts that I need for my job. And your allowance." So Christmas is almost upon us. Do we have a Christmas shopping done? Yeah. I got my wife, I'm very simple, I got my wife something that she's always wanted this year. Another man.
I've got a new job as a dolphin trainer.
Yeah.
You get to know them a bit after a while. You know, you build a bond, a rapport with them, and so I started opening up and confiding with this dolphin named Pierre, and I was saying how tough I found the job, and to my surprise, Pierre said, "Oh, you haven't got it that bad. I've got to meet Donald Trump later."
Yeah, I just bought some new shoes. Do you like them? Yeah. They're very expensive. Yeah. They look like ordinary trainers, but they're actual dolphin trainers. And, they look nice at first, but when you're walking around on two people in swimsuits, it's kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Especially if they've got their own trainers on.
I used to be a stripper. I know, you might not think so, but yeah, I was a stripper. And I made the most tips out of everyone there. Yeah, they would pay me to go away.
Yeah, I spent a year as an ugly, bedridden whore, as you can tell. That's where I got this tattoo. And when you tell people that you're an ugly, bedridden whore, they, stay away. So sometimes if you've got social anxiety disorder, I'll just walk in and say, "I'm a bedridden whore that has some kind of STD. And I won't have any problems with privacy. None. So are we happy with Keir Starmer?" Yeah, I mean, I voted Labour. I didn't want to, kind of held my nose and voted Red this time around. We're not the biggest Keir Starmer fan, but the alternative would have been just not voting and just killing everybody who wants to be a leader. And that's not going to happen, so I voted the red one. For the big red one.
So I've got ADHD.
Yay!
Anyone else got ADHD? Oh, wow, I'm surprised you managed to listen to the end of that sentence to give your reply. I'm surprised you managed to keep the attention yourself to finish your reply on yourself with your ADHD. Anyone got autism? Yeah. Yeah, big up the autism people.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me too much, although I did start a new job. My boss... very, very nice lady. She came up, she was welcoming me. She said, "Hello, Catherine, pleased to meet you." And I said, 5 windows, 7 doors, 3 fish pies, 8 computers, and a fax machine. So, a bit embarrassing there, autism.
Yeah, I live in London, and in London you don't have any problems with racial prejudice, but I was doing a show in a place called Folkestone not too long ago, and a man comes up to me afterwards and he says, "I liked your set. You don't have any problems with all the black people in London, do you?" And I was like, okay, how do I react? This man's clearly a racist. And so I did what any well-meaning liberal did. I said, I like black people. And he said, "I do too. I just wanted to make sure you weren't a London racist." So here I was, I'd spent all this time being afraid that this, Neanderthal skinhead man with his anger in his face and his, coming from not a London place was going to pulverise me like He-Man in the Skeletor movie. Yeah. Forsooth. Yeah, I like when they invent things that probably didn't happen too. So I'm with my Chinese friend. Right, we're going to go see the movie. the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. And we're in the queue, and we can hear a man about 2 feet ahead of us saying, I don't like these movies because they've got a lot of stupid, chinky bastards in them. So I'm looking at my friend, and I'm about to say something, and my friend says, and I thought, wait a second, maybe that guy up there should be my friend. And I left my friend in the back of the queue, and best part was, I got in the movie earlier because he was way ahead of us in the queue. What really makes me mad is when people mistreat black people. They are slaves that are meant to be handled with care. If you break one, your cotton will not get picked. Okay, too early for that one. Trying something different, but obviously you people are too woke.
So my girlfriend watches this show. It's called The Kardashians. Have you heard of The Kardashians?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, she says, I like watching this show. There's nothing wrong with watching the show. I enjoy it. And I said, I can recreate the feeling of watching the Kardashians for you. So I put her head in the blender and the tumble dryer and the rubbish bin and the tractor, and I ran over it with a car and I cut it open and I smashed it to bits like apples.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I've been dating a German girl for the past 2 years. Yeah, I know, English and Germans. Could it happen? Yeah, it's happened. I mean, we're past all that. We've moved on. Been dating a German girl. I come home one day, she's watching Love Island. I said, why are you watching Love Island? She says, it's a guilty pleasure. I said, okay, new house rule. You can either have guilt or pleasure. So she chose guilt. So I said, okay, we're watching Holocaust footage. That did it.
My girlfriend is really into collecting small China dolls. That's her hobby.
Yeah.
Tiny China dolls and
like David Bowie?
no, they didn't look like David Bowie.
His song China Doll?
No, it's China Girl.
Oh, China Girl, never
No,
mind.
tiny China dolls. And, It's like you wake up in the middle of the night and it's like being in a horror film.
Yeah. Was that it? Okay.
Yeah. My boyfriend's a dog trainer. Yes.
Yeah.
He's a dog trainer. He does bring his work home with him sometimes. But I don't mind. I like dogs.
Been going out with a man who works for the National Rail. He brings his work home with him sometimes. Drove a train right through the living room. So could you fix that there? Don't they have places there to fix the trains? By fixing the train, you've broken the house. Literally in half. Half.
Because men don't understand women, do they?
No.
Come on, girls.
No.
We act like we're all liberated these days, and men do not understand women.
No.
A woman will say to a man, "I'd like to have some nice food tonight and watch television," and the man will start a war, invade other countries, slaughter a race of peoples, and then kill himself. Women don't understand men, do they? A man will say, "Hey, I'd like to have sex tonight," and a woman will think that when it goes into her ear, into her brain, she will hear, "I'm going to spend 3 hours in the bath and light some candles, then eat a tub of ice cream, and then watch Dirty Dancing with Patrick Swayze."
So my husband's brother died about 2 weeks ago, so we had to do a family funeral. And my husband, like most men, does not know how to talk about emotions. And his other brother was there, and the two of them were just staring at the casket, not saying. And I just felt so bad. So I went up there and brought a bunch of power tools and just said, "Get to work on something, and now you can talk." Men need to have tools to talk, right? My mother is so naggy. She calls me, "How are things in London?" "Fine." Do you have a boyfriend? No. Fine. How is your skin? I said, am I talking to my mother or Hannibal Lecter? What do you care about my skin? Yeah, my skin is fine, mother. It's not all wrinkly like yours, you old coot. Did you guys see? Trump is going to buy Yorkshire. That's not true, but he might as well do it. I don't know whether I hate more Yorkshire people from the north or fat old fucking Trump.
So my nan died, and I've been really sad about that. Really, really, really sad. It's tragic. It's very hard dealing with death, especially for me because she looked after my dog for me and did all my washing and tidied my house every day. Because I'm evil, because comedians are evil. Evil.
So my husband's very big into tech. Yeah, for my birthday, he got me, let me see if I can sort of weld together the modern technological age with the 1950s housewife that he thinks I still am. My birthday present was one of those robot hoovers. And here's how confused I am. The other day, I reached down to pet it. I said, why is my dog's hair so chromy? So you guys have been great. I'm Helen God. I think all the
my boyfriend's from all the countries in the world. Yeah, my boyfriend's from all the countries in the world, and he's got peculiar habits attributed to each and every one of them.
It's not easy having a Filipino girlfriend. My idea of a snack is a little bit of Marmite, maybe some chocolate, you know. She likes blood. Blood, bananas, and monkey brains. That's what's on the table. I said, you stick to your country, I'll stick to mine, we'll meet in the bedroom. Why do people still do this for him? It's lunacy. What kind of madness is it? What kind of a jerk-off show is this every year?
My boyfriend's a Christian, and makes me pray every night. What he doesn't know is I'm praying, that he allows me to not pray every night.
I went out with a Christian... Well, when I was younger, I dated an older man. Yeah, we've all done it. And he was kind of a cult Christian guy. Right? He said, you can't get to heaven unless you've been saved. I said, well, I've got a savings account. And all of a sudden he says, actually, I can take you to heaven right now. You know, he wanted the money.
Oh, yeah.
So he had sex with her.
Yeah.
Something like that.
My boyfriend's a smoker. Just, you know, it's not really the done thing anymore, is it?
No.
It's almost like a archaic activity. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. It's just it's got this kind of, you know, when you see those old films, you think of Clint Eastwood or Burt Reynolds smoking. No, my boyfriend is like Oscar the Grouch.
Do you guys remember the movie Jaws? When I saw that as a kid, I refused to get in the water. And I mean all kinds of water. I wouldn't go to the ocean, I wouldn't take a bath, and I wouldn't drink a glass of water. I thought there was something in water that made sharks grow, like little shark seeds. And I had to go to a mental health specialist, and we did water work together. Yeah, I'm not lying, water work.
I have got mental health issues. I have suffered with mental health over the years, and I think it's good to talk about it. It's important to be open about it.
It is.
It does put the pressure on you, though, my audience. So I want you all to know you are here to help me with my mental health journey. So as long as we're straight on that, and we know how we're going to proceed.
I tried to kill myself 5 times in 1 year. 5 times. What kind of loser am I that can't kill himself? 5 times. And I was clinically dead for 12 minutes. Now, I could spend the rest of my life saying, gosh, I'll never get those 12 minutes back. But what do you really do in 12 minutes? A typical 12-minute day for me would be going to Instagram, checking my Star Chat account. Do I have any snap faces available? I said, well, yeah, but I was fine with losing those 12 minutes.
My whole family were killed when I was a child, and you might think that would make me, anxious as an adult, but no. The way I look at it, statistically, I'm the least likely person to have bad things happen. So whenever I'm in a group of people and someone says, oh, someone's lost their tennis ball up in that very dangerous gutter that's filled with broken glass, I'm straight up there.
Yeah.
Make way for super orphan.
They say a cat's got 9 lives, and I love my cat, and I know the expression, the cat has 9 lives, but I think my cat knows that expression too, because he looks at me sometimes like, don't get any ideas, especially when I've stolen your favourite piece of salmon. I have a favourite piece of salmon I've never eaten, but I keep it around the house like a decoration.
Why do people say it's a dog's life? It's a dog's life. People are always saying that. It's a dog's life. It's a dog's life. Have people seen what dogs' lives are like? Oh, I'm just going to roll around on the floor while someone makes my food for me. Oh, I think I'd like to go paddling on the beach, and I'm Australian now, and I'd just like to go to the beach. I'm a dog having a dog's life.
Did you hear about the man in Australia who removed his entire spine so he could bend over and lick his balls like a dog does? Makes you wonder what people in Australia do in their free time. Did a show in New Zealand. That's a strange country. Have we been to New Zealand before, anyone? What a strange country. Because I went over there, my first mistake was I came out and I said, I'm so glad to be in Australia. I thought they were the same thing. And boy, did I get a booing. Once I found out they weren't Australian, though, I slagged off Australia for 90 minutes and they loved me. I said, all Australia's ever produced is a fucking Crocodile Dundee arsehole. Got a 2-year-old daughter. She's learning new words. She comes home the other day. She says, nabob. I said, what does it mean? She says, it doesn't mean fuck. I said, what's that word? She says, I thought you wanted me to learn words. I want you to unlearn that one.
I grew up in a very picturesque village. It was very quiet. The only thing you heard was church bells ringing sometimes. But no, my husband, that wasn't enough for him. He wanted to move out somewhere even more quiet. He wanted to move out way into the country. And I was just opening my windows one Sunday morning. I heard the church bells. I thought, oh, that's lovely. Reminds me of home. No. This place is so old-fashioned, it was some bells round the neck of the local leper.
Got my little son who's neurodivergent. I bought him a yo-yo. Yeah, I had a yo-yo as a kid. I thought, well, so did my son would like a yo-yo. I got him a yo-yo, and he's talking to it. And he says 2 words to it, up, down, up, down, up, down. And so I threw him down an elevator shaft if he likes down so much. There, you're up, you're down. I am a bad mother. I took an iron, hot, and stuck it on my daughter's back while she slept. Now she knows whose property she is. I don't like doing laundry. Every time I need new laundry, I just throw away all the dirty laundry and go buy myself a brand new wardrobe. It gets expensive, but if you were rich like me, you do the same.
My daughter's got a hamster, and it's incredibly sweet. You know, it's heart-wrenching. It's just to see her with the hamster. It's just, you know, it's everything I always want. It's beautiful. It's innocent. It's like a Disney film. My daughter and a hamster. But she turned to me one day, absolutely broke my heart. She said, "Mummy, will my hamster die one day?" And I could barely do it, but I had to tell her the truth. You know, I'm a progressive mother. And I said, yes, Molly, Holly, Polly, he will die. Hammy the hamster will die eventually. And so she seemed to deal with it quite well. But then I found out she'd been watching that Brian Johnson, you know, the tech billionaire, his plan for longevity, and she'd put the hamster on the Brian Johnson's longevity diet, feeding it vitamins every day, giving it radio frequency skin treatments. And you know what? I'm quite worried about it because the hamster looks better than I do. It looks good. This hamster is a diva. I mean, it looks like it's going to live forever. This hamster, its skin is glowing, it's bouncing down the street, its hair is flowing. And you know what? I'm going to kill the hamster myself.
Kids and pets, right? Kids and pets. So my daughter got a goldfish. And what do goldfish do? They die, right? So she says, Mummy, can we have a funeral for the goldfish? And I said, well, yes, we can after school. So she runs off to school and I'm left there with this floating goldfish in the bowl. And I don't like the look of it. So you know what I did? I flushed the goldfish down the toilet bowl. And hoping my daughter wouldn't remember. And I laid down to take a nap that day after doing that. And I couldn't get to sleep because I kept hearing Latin being chanted. And apparently in the toilet, there's a bunch of clerical fish that were actually giving him an underwater burial in Latin, of all things. We excited about Red Nose Day? I'm excited about Red Nose Day, but I don't think my dad is going to do it this year because he's an alcoholic and his nose is always red with his fucking gin blossoms. But no, I'm really proud of the work Lenny Henry's done. This year I'm going to be doing some charity work. I'm going to not go to M&S. No, because M&S uses foil in the lunches they give to their employees. They're required to eat foil. Just got a new pair of glasses. This is what I look like without glasses. Hence my nickname, Squinty McClintock.
My husband came home the other day with a tattoo. Yes, a tattoo. Yes. Can you believe it? He came home with a tattoo. And my husband is not the tattoo type. And his tattoo, it was a tattoo of Britney Spears. I said, why have you had a tattoo of Britney Spears? And he said, well, it's a bit embarrassing actually. I asked him for a tattoo of a spear and the island of Brittany.
You mean the country, the region?
The region of Brittany and a spear.
Yeah. My husband came home the other day with a tattoo. Couldn't believe it. Came home with a tattoo. Yeah. He came home with the midget from Fantasy Island named Tattoo. Hervé Villachez, the actor, who strangely enough blew his own brains out in the 80s. So that was pretty weird. Paul Merton. I'm really not happy with the Prime Minister. I think our country would be better if we just had a minister instead of a prime minister. I think there's something about putting prime in front of a person's name makes them feel like extra special. Right? Can you imagine being like, I'm prime mother or I'm prime son? You know? I think there's a reason, you know, we call him prime minister. The president, I mean, what if the president were called prime president? I think for all the faults that the Americans have, and they do have plenty of faults, I think calling their president president instead of prime president is probably a good idea. I'm not down on Americans. Well, I've gone down on some of them. That's weird. I think American men's spunk tastes differently than British men's spunk. Less Marmite.
So how you all doing?
Good.
You know, don't say that. Don't say good. Everyone in this room knows it's all over for the world. Yeah. It's all over. It's going to shit. So I've got a solution though. There's good news. I've got a solution. Let's just put Tom Hardy in charge of the whole world. Yeah. He can solve. Have you seen any of his films? He can solve anything. Yeah. If there's any problem, he just sort it out. Put Tom Hardy in charge of the world. Yeah. And if that doesn't work, let's just all kill ourselves.
lot of debate right now about who should play the next James Bond. Yeah, I think it should be black, should be a woman. One person said it should be a dog. How about, for the first time in history, could we have a James Bond played by somebody whose name is actually James? We've had Daniel Craig, Pierce Brosnan, Roger Moore, Sean Connery, George Lazenby. There's never been a James playing a James Bond. I could do it. I'm a James. But my name's not Bond. It's Bind. James Bind. But James Bond wouldn't work, would it? Instead of James Bond, because James Bond, it's such a fierce name. It's like, I'm James Bond. But James Bind kind of sounds like you're always in a bit of a pickle. I'm in a bind. I'm a James Bind. Helen Mirren, did you see this? She just turned 207, and she doesn't look that old. And I found out, I was curious what her skin secret was. Apparently, she does not exist. It's a state of mind. It's part of this MK Ultra plot the CIA came up with, where everybody in the world would have imprinted in their mind an idea of a Helen Mirren that would never age properly.
So, my husband's got a new hobby. Yeah, my husband's got a new hobby.
Yeah?
It's being a complete wanker. I mean, that's why they've got Y. Women have X chromosomes, men have Y chromosomes. Why do they have Y chromosomes? Because that's what you're thinking all the time. Why are you such a wanker?
There's a new scientific theory out now that women were the ones to invent the railroads. Isn't that funny? We invent something phallic, but a man invents a lake. We did a lot of comics on it.
That's enough of that.
What we're doing now.